The Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has made an announcement. I mean, you know that we are in an election year, so all these politicians are trying so hard to win the hearts of the people, making promises here and there. Now, it looks like this one is going to be a very good news for the music industry and also music enthusiasts, as he says that they are launching a local streaming platform in November to improve royalties for creatives. I see Willie shaking his head, but he wants to drink one can mineral water first to clear his throat so that he can actually share his opinion on this one. So Willie, let me come straight to you. Local music streaming platform for Ghana. What do you make of it?
I think, for me, in my view, it's a waste of time.
Oh.
And whoever thought of that doesn't really know the issues on ground. Now, why would you want to go and create a third-party Ghanaian app where people should stream Ghanaian music when originally songs are already streamed in our part of the world using some of these DSPs, the Apple Music and Spotify and Audiomack and the rest? What you should be doing is equipping Gamro, those who actually take the royalties for your artists in your country. You should get a system for them where they are able to monetize. They're able to have a system where if Shatawale picks his phone today and he goes on the app, he's able to know that One King Radio played my song 4 times. Radio Max played my song 6 times today. He has a dashboard he's reading from. That is where you're able to hold people accountable for how your funds are being used. You are not thinking about that, but you want to think outside the box and tell us that you are going to create a new app where we should all go and listen to music. You've forgotten that I already have where I take my music. Why would I go through the stress of coming to sign up for a new Ghanaian app and I'll start be paying? Well, and we all have this notion that anything Ghanaian, it doesn't sell well. So the best you do is you equip the people who already are doing it to move from analog to digital. You don't go and set up a whole new system. I don't know whoever sat and had this plan with them, and I don't know how they perceive all these things. I saw industry players sitting there and I was like, none of you were able to tell this man that though it's good to have a platform, but that's not what we really need.
According to the Vice President, he is saying that when you look at Spotify, right, and the funds or the revenue or the royalties that artists are getting from Spotify is quite low. I don't know the research that he and the team,
but again,
but he feels like when we have our own platform, then we can actually pay our artists very well.
But consistency, how long is he going to keep it working or running? And how come he's sat down till now? We have a month or 2 to get to election. And because you want to become a president, this is what you think we need. And you're bringing, is this what we need in the country? Just like Richard is saying, like, this is not something we need. And whoever gave him the idea, I don't know.
Yeah, see, I understand what you're saying. Probably they want to make promises to the to the people and all of those things. But sometimes I feel we have things we mainly need as people in this industry. But the funniest of all is we are not paying attention to it because the system that is supposed to go and fight for us have internal rifts. Like when the president called people to patronize that app, have you even thought about the process you go into marketing that particular app? While you already have one that these artists will be able to read their royalties on, there's no need for you to tell me that I should go and stream music on the Ghana Music app. Do you know the number of Ghanaians who've created apps? My very good friend, I've forgotten his name, Vibes24 created some very beautiful apps some time back. How many people patronized it? Because the world has grown to understand there are some people that are there. Now, you don't go and beat them. You eat around it. People are already making revenue out of this particular said point you are saying.
Yeah.
But the best is the artists feel like the localized one is not helping them make revenue. So if you have this, your app that's there where you are reading royalties and the rest from the traditional media, you're able to even help them link it to their DSPs. So at the end of the month, they are able to read that, okay, when you go on Spotify, this is what I'm getting.
Yes.
And in Ghana, this is what I'm getting. So striking a balance. The government is making its own tax revenue from it. It's broad. The government can even tax this particular thing. But I don't know how people see things. And again, who am I? Whom am I to advise them when it comes to things like this? So some of us, we just want to look at it from the bigger picture and expect that they understand what the people truly, truly need.
Okay, Sir Chris, Vice President has this to say. We are launching a new streaming platform for our musicians. Is this what the music industry actually needs now?
Okay, first of all, I must say that if there is an enhanced way of collecting royalties for musicians, that's a great idea. If there is any idea of enhancing the royalty collection for musicians to enjoy, that is a great idea. However, I remember in 2016, in the MPP manifesto, they promised helping Gumroad to be able to collect royalties on behalf of the creative or the musicians, I should say. What happened to that manifesto since 2016? What happened to that? And one of they shouldn't come and tell us that it was suggested, and because he was a vice president, he suggested, and then they never accepted it, or they did not take the suggestion.
He was a mate then.
You see, sometimes
he's still a mate, and he's getting this
sometimes
ideas.
these politicians should spare us with some of these things. I mean, these are, until I see things happening, I don't want to believe anybody, because in 2016 that was the message.
Yeah.
And Gumroad has been struggling in collecting royalties on behalf of these artists. And so artists complain that the amount of money they receive as royalties is very, very low.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
In recent times, we have had Fancy Gadem and all
yes,
of those other artists coming to complain about it. You understand? In the past, we have had Stoneboy. In the past, we have had Celestine Donko until they started receiving big amounts, and Celestine Donko has stopped complaining now. Stoneboy isn't complaining now. Shatawale is not complaining. These people received some huge amount of money, some huge sum of money some time ago, and so they are not complaining now. I remember Celestine Donko, after receiving that amount of money, her husband came to say that, it's good, but Gumroad can do better. And since then, I've never heard a complaint from
I think they've done better for her.
Maybe. Yes. So for me, musicians, if they are receiving royalties, that's fine. But this same NPP government, they promised these musicians, I mean Gumroad, I should say, because Gumroad has been collecting the royalties on behalf of the musicians. They were going to equip them, going to help them with a collection. How about that? What happened since 2016? Nothing. I mean, that hasn't happened. So why should I now believe you if you are telling me a different story? Well, they say it is going to be launched in
November.
Yeah. November is just here.
It says everything is complete. Works on it.
We
were here in this country when GPS was launched.
So this is what I want to find out. It had to take them how many years? 8 years before they could think of Ghanaian musicians.
I even don't have any problem with that. My issue has to do with whether or not
it will happen.
It will happen, and it is going to be
November.
It is going to be effective.
See,
well, let them launch it.
Yes. If you want me to be blunt and very honest with every Ghanaian who's watching this, or anyone who believes in whatever is going on, all these things are lies.
Oh, it is. We all
be lies.
We all know it's lies.
Like I keep saying, the creative art space is dying because
it's dead.
That would be too hard. If it's dead, you'll be sitting here having a conversation.
Okay, so we can take the music and the movie people out. The rest is not existing.
See, people who are supposed to go and fight for us, I mean, the governing bodies, I mean, Gumroad, Musica, Five Park, all these people have internal rifts that affects them from carrying our message to the right people. So the right people don't know what we want. That is why today a running mate will stand and no, he's not. He's the flag bearer, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
A
now
flag
he's
bearer
a
will
flag
stand and
bearer.
tell us that he wants to create a streaming platform for us. Is that what they truly need?
When you cannot,
are you
when
able
you
to-
cannot even equip what
Are
they
you
have
able to
already,
equip
you
them
can't
with
even do something for
auditoriums
them.
where,
And
if
unfortunately,
I
these
release a
musicians
song
were
like-
there. Oh.
They were there.
They were sitting
and they were
there
talking
and
about how you
they
help the
couldn't say
streets.
anything.
Somebody was talking about how you can help the streets.
So wait, we will get there. We will get there. We get to that part. I want us to finalize this particular one. So Ms. Brown,
For me,
let's hear
actually,
from you.
I don't see this thing going anywhere. But November is coming. We're
Yeah.
waiting. We'll get to wait when it launch. After it launches, what happens? What's next? Is it going to be implemented,
Sika,
or
I
is
want to
just
ask you a
going
question.
to be launching?
let's wait.
Is it just going to be launching?
Do you know
Anything
about
that
the
has
Ghana
come
app, the tracker app now that is called Citizen
That
Ghana app?
that is what I was saying.
How
That's
many
why
people
I
are
said that we
patronizing
were
it?
all here in this country. I mean, a couple of apps have been launched under this particular
Who
government.
is even using it?
Exactly. How
Even
have we
him, he
marketed
doesn't
it?
use it.
Some
Why
of
do
them
they
are
like
not
to
even
lie to
functional
us?
enough for people to use. So with that one, but before we wrap up on this particular conversation, I want to take each one of you's thoughts on the meet and greet, or let's say the stakeholders engagement that went on yesterday. For me, I am quite disappointed in Shatawale because for somebody who is always online so vocal about the issues in the industry, in the creative art industry, you get the chance, you get the opportunity
To say something.
to ask some relevant question. I mean, do something, and then you go and stand there and then you ask the vice president to give a message to the youth and then say it in pidgin. I mean,
Like,
He's looking at making headlines for himself.
That's it.
so-
to create
After
some
the
form
music.
of humor. I mean, this is a serious issue.
So
You
this
are
is-
one person that is always vocal. You are always saying, at some point, you say that the Ghana music industry is non-existent. It doesn't
Again.
even exist. There is no industry. So the people that can help in building the industry,
Are in
go
your face.
and make a point for these people, for them to know that, yes, we are serious. Let them take us serious. You go
You
and stand
see,
there and do this.
I've always said this, that I'm waiting for one day. So I'll attend one of these stakeholder meetings and I'll be able to tell these celebrities or these creatives to their face the wrongdoings they do when they go and meet these people. Is it because of the envelopes they take afterwards?
oh yes.
I don't know, but
There's no two ways about it.
If that's what silenced them, then I'm a bit surprised because you hammer on something when you go and meet them. Look at what when these Kumawi people met John Mahama.
Yeah.
People were talking about cars.
Yeah.
They were talking about wanting cars. They gave them cars and the cars.
We are in a priority.
You
So
understand?
this
But
is a country
we don't
where,
have a united
this is a
front
country
on
where
what we
everybody
need.
is having his own priority and they are fighting for themselves. So they will sit behind their phones, their cameras in their rooms and talk as if they care about you. But when they are given the platform to help you, they're not able to do it. They go and put themselves first. I am actually disappointed in that meet and greet thing. But what would you do? This is Ghana.
This is Ghana. Say, Chris, is this actually Ghana? Or it could be better? And I am fan, sir.
Well, for me, you see, I was expecting more from the industry people. Talk about issues that readily affect the industry.
Exactly.
And then you could add any other thing that you wanted to add. You understand? Because I don't know the plans the vice president, the flag bearer, has.
The mates.
I don't know.
The mates
I don't
with
know the
the
plans he
ancestors, yeah.
has. For all you know, he has plans of meeting those on the street as well. So today is your day. You know, yes, in as much as you would want to speak for those on the streets, these are your people. Yes, I understand. I mean, they support you and they support your music and all of that. Yes. But how about things that are affecting the industry? This is an industry where we cannot even identify the kind of genre, we belong to. I mean, the kind of genre we have here, because you were in the United States of America and they asked you about the kind of genre we do here in Ghana, and you could not tell them, according to you. I mean, from your own words, you couldn't tell them the kind of journal we do here in Ghana. When you have won High Life Song of the Year before, you could not still tell them the kind of music we do here in Ghana. You understand? So these are conversations that we should be having. There should be, that kind of conversation. What are we doing? The industry, what's happening and all of that. I was expecting things like that to happen. But of course, everyone has their priority. Everyone has what it actually worries them. And so maybe he sees that as a worry more than, the things that are affecting the industry. He is not an industry boy, remember?
Yeah.
For somebody like Shatawale that doesn't see this as a worry, then we don't know what's going to happen.
He's not an industry boy.
He's not an
So he
industry
doesn't
boy.
do
So why was
industry
he
things.
there then?
Oh, he's Shatawale.
Was he dragged there?
He's
Why
Shatawale.
was he there?
Okay, so don't forget that.
If that's the
Maybe
reason you're going to
that-
give
maybe
for
we have
that,
to-
why
Let's
was
not
he
forget
there?
the fact that any sitting comes with an envelope.
But he's the richest musician in the whole
let's
of
not
Ghana.
forget it. It's Sky. It been
No,
Who was Sky?
that money is peanuts.
I don't even want to.
What about
Apokra
fuel?
Nsutogu.
Okay. What about
I don't want to
fuel?
go there, but I think that yes, it is what it is.
They didn't do well anyway.
He is not an industry boy, so I can understand.
Okay.
Yes, so that is all. We should all understand that he is not. Shatawale is not your.
No,
but he's not an industry boy.
So let's take it like that.
But I'm surprised you guys are surprised because Shatawale is not an industry boy.
I know.
You should know. He said it.
Severally.
Well, so that's it with our first story. Make sure you send in your comments and don't forget to share the video as well.